Good. Hey. Good morning, V-Friends. Let's get the other chats rocking here. We're live on TikTok. Almost live on Instagram. Hello, YouTube. And X. Need a life. Good morning, Alex, over on YouTube. This is the Making Comics live stream. I am, upside down. I have no idea why this is upside down. I'm gonna fix it. Let's fix it. Wow, that's crazy. Hey, well, let's look at that. I'm upside down. Let me, that's wild. Transform. Flip horizontal, flip vertical. That's weird. There we go. I'm gonna flip it. Let's just rotate me. I don't know. Technical things. I should learn about meme coins, brother man. Friendly advice. Hey, I know a little bit about meme coins, but I'm just a mere cartoonist here at V-Friends. I draw the comics and make the stories. I'm not looking to get rich quick. We got Gratitude Gorilla hanging out today on the iPad. Adventurous Astronaut. And of course, as always, Patient Panda. Trying to be patient. This is the V-Friends comic stream. I'll be drawing some comics here live. We have over 280 characters on a mission to make positivity louder out there, make soft skills cool, like gratitude, kindness, and patience. Created by Gary Vaynerchuk, V-Friends. You might know him as Gary V, hence the name V and V-Friends. A lot of people are like, DJ, what does V mean? This is Gary V. Check him out. We've got a cartoon show on YouTube Kids. Cartoon show for kids, but all ages, I think. You know, it's pretty fun. We've got a trading card game, and we've got the minis. This is my reminder to open a mini here. Let's just open up randomly. I'm picking from the basket. I've got a little basket here. I'm gonna pick just randomly from the basket. Looks like I got a season 2 mini. Gonna open this up for the day. They're always trying to jump away from me. All right. Morning, Craig. Morning, Alana. Over on Facebook. I'm live on Facebook again. I was locked out of Facebook for a minute. Uh-oh. No. Oh my gosh. They're really popping away. Morning over on Instagram Live. And I got my TikTok chat. Where is it at? Where's my TikTok chat? Good morning, D. Coleman. What's up? Over on TikTok. Anyways, I pulled a Be the Bigger Person and bubblegum. Smells like bubblegum. Smell it. There you go. Got a little fuzz on there. So those are the V-Friends minis. I'm DJ Kaufman, like I said here. Am I upside down? No. I'm DJ, cartoonist here, and creator at V-Friends. Not the creator of V-Friends, but a creator at V-Friends. Very confusing. I'm in charge of the comics team, so we're making comics. I'll be back here tomorrow morning as well, 8 a.m. And then Friday we're doing a comics jam on Whatnot. Comics jam. We work on a comic strip together. Kind of just jam live, with it. Real quick reminders before I get started. Follow us on V-Friends Comics at YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, UInstatalk. Please do that. We're building these channels up. All the live streams are recorded, and they're over on the YouTube channel under the live tab. And we also have animated comics coming out. We call them, what do we call them? I forget. I don't know. They're like short animated versions of the comic strips that we're putting out, and they're really cool. They've really been really great lately, I must say. Hats off to the animators. They take the comic strips and they do them. Now, I finished yesterday's comic that'll come out tomorrow on the socials, featuring Dowden Dog and 555 Fan. 5555 Fan. And today I'm going to be working on something a little bit different. But first, let's do a warm-up. I was requested to do a warm-up of the three-horned harpic, thoughtful three-horned harpic, so I'm going to do that. We're going to do that right now. And I'll check in on the chat. Appreciate you guys flying in and out over there on TikTok. Hopefully TikTok hangs around, right? Somebody asked me if we would be still on TikTok. I've got my chats up. We're ready to go. Just gonna this is my warm-up time. If there's a character you want to see in the warm-up, it's about 11-minute warm-up now. Warm-up. I like to draw in purple for our warm-up here. I'm going to do a three-horned harpic. I'm just going to take a real quick peek at him. I got him a little strip files over here. You'll be seeing a lot more of the three-horned harpic next week. Just want to grab my... Where's our boy at? Try a different pose today for the harpic. Morning, everybody. Thanks for chilling out. What is it? Wednesday morning already? All right. What I'm doing here is, well, I can't show you what I'm doing. Well, I can show you a little bit. No. All right. Never mind. I'm not showing this page. Gary B, of course. Crypto Lauren, doing good. I'm gonna draw a warm-up sketch. I always start drawing small just to get like a pose down. I think I want to do like an action shot of our harpic here. So I keep my hand nice and loose. You know, this is my loosen up. I haven't drawn anything today. I've been kind of just getting started here. So I like to just loosen up with some like scribbles and all that stuff, get the hand motion going. I'm looking at a harpic, a couple different versions of the harpic there as I'm drawing. Let's see if the full phone kind of looks cool. So you see it's like a real scribbly little thing. And we'll get into the details here in a second. But I kind of want him to be like maybe breathing some fire, and we'll explain that in a second. He's got bad breath or something. Horn there, horn there, horn there. Tail. Tails are fun too. We'll talk about that actually as I'm drawing. Drawing tails kind of gives you anything that's fluid on the character can be good for showing motion. So that's our pose. Doesn't look like much right now, but I'm going to blow it up. So if it's really small, right, I'm blowing it up just to get the composition of the pose. Also fun if you're an artist or just doodling. This is fun to do on like post-it notes. If you're going through your day, kind of like doodling little composition silhouettes and poses. Maybe I'll throw Gary B on here. I don't know. We'll see. Anna Mullen, what's up? Over there on Instagram. Okay, so I've got the general shape of this pose, and now I can get in here on a different layer and work on the pose, the actual line art. So he's gonna have his mouth way open and looking kind of happy too as he's breathing fire, because I don't want him to look scary. And what else do we got? He's got some teeth. So Throw a tooth there and a tooth here. Kind of goofy teeth. You know. Get wild with this tongue in here. It's the tongue in his mouth. Now, if you're a collector of V-Friends, there's like the lava Harpic and the bubblegum Harpic, different versions, you know. And so I thought one of the things we're doing with the you'll see later on, but some of the character development we're doing, we're thinking like, well, maybe he can breathe fire and perhaps even do something like sticky power. Anybody that's got the bubblegum. So the bubblegum power, what is that? And we'll have some fun with his eyes too, to be kind of expressive. This is kind of like a pose that I did with Driven Dragon, and I've been thinking about it for a while, because I'm like, Harpic is kind of part dragon, part, you know, he's the only character in the V-Friends universe that's completely not a human, not an animal, not a food. You know, he's not peas. Just completely made up, like an imaginary friend, or it reminds me of something like Peach Dragon, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always counting out the segments there. Maybe a little softer, you know. Kind of giving him a little. I'm getting a little edgier, especially since, you know, a couple months back, Gary was like, we should get edgier, and then Andy was like, V-Friends are effing cool, and I'm like, yeah. So we shouldn't stick to those stiff poses and stuff. Why can't we have them flying and breathing fire and, you know, learning more about the characters? It's the fun part of the comics that you'll see. You will see. I'm gonna make him wacky. He's gonna have like a big eye and a little eye. He's just like really like, maybe he's doing something very innocent, like cooking. Jiff V-Friends Blizz, Common Earl. Alana's trying to collect more comic stuff. Of the V-Friends comic stuff, there's not a whole lot to collect. There's the stickers out there for right now, but we'll have but in general, comics stuff. I'm gonna just give you my personal things to collect, like things that I like. I'm more of a fan of like Todd McFarlane, and the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man run was really good. Just really enjoyed that. Just the way that he drew Spider-Man. That's always been one of my big inspirations, were all the comic artists that were way more cartoony, or they would say too cartoony. What do we got? 3 minutes left on this warm-up. I'm gonna draw little fingers on him. He's like super happy. He's got little claws. Well, you'll see. He doesn't have claws on the card, but he's got little paw claws. We're kind of evolving him to have like cat claws kind of thing. Little Harpic. The Thoughtful Three-Horned Harpic is the full name. Matt, thanks for stopping in. Good morning. I've got 3 minutes left on the warm-up sketch here. These little wings, kind of like dragon wings, but they're also kind of bat wingish. They usually have like 1, 2. It's got different skin here. can see the evolution of the Harpic here. It's the first version, card version, cartoon version, sticker version. Like, we're kind of doing a lot of different things, letting artists interpret the stories and whatnot, which is kind of fun. Let's go back to the epic view here. That's fun. Okay. It's on fire. Hey Keith, what's up? Keith, I missed getting in on that video that they made. I saw the message a little bit later. I was kind of offline, just checking in occasionally. But congrats on that, Kind Warrior. Keith's a Kind Warrior follower. Keith, I have your coin always right beside the coin you gave me. Always on the desk here somewhere. Just found it cleaning up. Kind of keep that near and dear to me. You know, appreciate it. Oh, speaking of Kind Warrior, I think we got the pin. I don't know if you gave us this pin. I think you did. You gave us the Kind Warrior pin at VCon. Got a couple pins hanging out on the desk today. I got Alicia's, my wife's Fox pin. It was in my cabinet, so I was like, it's mine now. No, it's a, what is it? It's 1 of 55 Fox pin there. Yeah, we've got, there you go. That's a plug for the, we got new pins out. The New Year, New You pins. Pins, keychain, and pogs. So check out the VFriends, at VFriends. Handles, social channels, or vfriends.com, and there's cool stuff to collect there. Fun. Comics soon. Printed comics this year soon. Okay, that's a pretty decent warm-up sketch, I think. You know, if I were to play with it a little bit more, I'd probably like show that wing over there, maybe. We'd figure out what he was cooking. Don't know. Okay. Good. Zoom out a little bit. I'd like to show the VFriends hanging out here. I'm going to pull another mini. We're at that stage. Let's do that. Flip back around. Hopefully I'm not upside down. Earlier, for some reason, OBS, the program I use, had my camera upside down, but whatever. I'm going to pull up, let's pull up season 1. Let's do a season 1. Spins helmet. We got a green and a blue. Let's go back to the epic view. Which one should I open? Green or blue in the chat? Type green or blue in the chat as we're looking at this fire-breathing Harpic here. I'll check the chats. Santa, what's up? I was gone most of December of Santa, so you didn't miss much, and I know Santa was busy. Santa Claus was in the chat. Hope you had a nice break after all the work you did, Santa. He reminds me of the dude on Hercules. Yeah, I guess so. Sweet soul. Misbehaving. Thanks for watching over there on TikTok. We got green, 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 green. Got one blue and a bunch of greens. So let's open up the green. This is a... Uh-oh. We'll put this one up here for later. This is the green for season 1 mini. What we're trying to do is knock off... This is a basic bubble gum. There's some detailed ones in our sets. And, you know, this is a Driven Dragon Emerald. He's not a real special one, but I like him better than the Be the Bigger Person. So he's going to just beat. And it's kind of similar that we just talked about Driven Dragon with this pose with the fire, even though this is Harpic. But so Driven Dragon will take over the pencil for the next little steps here. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to get into another strip. Again, this is the VeeFriends Making Comics live stream. Good morning. I'm DJ Kaufman. I'll be back here live tomorrow, 8 a.m. as well, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and X. And VeeFriends, a lot to check out, but make sure you're following us on Instatalk at VeeFriends Comics. We're way more than 5 followers now. I think we're up to like almost 600 there on VeeFriends Comics. So we just launched those channels, the Instagram channel. So appreciate that, and really appreciate you hanging out and chatting over on the YouTube channel. We're live on all those channels. But we try to just be wherever you are, as much as we can. Okay, so I should cover up this screen real quick while I do this. Look at this. I just want to turn off the text. Don't really want you to see the text just yet. This one. Okay, good. Come back. Good. All right, so you can see here I've got a situation happening. There's a rough, just similar to what I just drew. Got a little person walking, 2 characters walking. Looks like it's going to be Decisive Duck. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. Misbehaving says, I'm no artist, but I'm getting into logo creation as a digital marketer. Hey, Misbehaving, real quick tip for you, Draplin. If you're looking in logo courses and stuff like that, Aaron Draplin is my favorite logo designer. All different brands, from Panagonia or Pearl Jam. So many big brands use Draplin. He's got a logo course, and he's got some free stuff on YouTube as well. I believe about logo design. I used to do a lot of logo design and stuff. Let's cut that. If you're new, let's just write this down real quick. New to the stream and new to VeeFriends Comics, you can email me and let me know, and I might send you something. As a first time, I'd like to surprise and delight people that are chilling out, watching the streams. Each VeeFriend has a trait. You know, we're talking about Gratitude Gorilla and stuff like that, you know, like, so comics@VeeFriends.com if you're new, and I'd like to send you something if you're new. If you're old, well, you know, I hook you up with stuff too. So, but put these pencils here, get my layers in order. If you don't see what I'm doing over here, there's some layers. Just kind of zoom in on my layers real quick. Whoop. You can see there I've got, like, I have a text layer here that's like the text and the balloons, and then I've got inks, some random rectangle or frames, turn those off and on. I've got pencils, I've got colors, I've got the rough, that's really rough sketch there just for the pose. And I like to do that because I can actually, you know, you can go in and turn off just the text. You know, we can turn off just the background colors and just get down to the inks if we want. See there? That's kind of how the thing comes together over time, and then you can see Zoom back out. Try to get a good view on this. I like to show those V-Friends up there as I'm working too. Talk about them. And yeah, on the live streams, I usually just kind of get into this one's written a little bit already. Well, it's already written, actually, to be honest. I don't know when it'll run, but when it'll publish. 824 Snake. Lawrence, are you a snake collector? Holder? Authentic anaconda? We've got a few snakes. Alright. Over there on Facebook, thanks Lawrence for watching. Dan, good morning over on X. Krista, thanks for following. I'm using Procreate. Yes. Misbehaving. What kind of brush are you using for your rough sketch? I use my own pencil that I made called Draw or Die pencil. But you can use just any pencil that's in there, really, to be honest. Whatever one feels right. I wouldn't overthink it too much. Alright, so here, I'm going to get into drawing this out. The idea here is there's a young lady and she's cold. So I've got one hand kind of like a mitten. We'll just draw with a mitten on. Like a glove. Scarf. She's holding her scarf. Looking very cold. It's been pretty cold outside. It's a pretty basic if you're living here, if you're living on the East Coast, at least, or up north. I'm just going to draw. She has no earmuffs on, but I want to do like a snow cap. So you see how I'm using that rough shape for the overall pose. They're just kind of like walking in the snow. Big coat. Scarf. And we'll do the whole thing. We'll do the inks, as well. Some pocket on her coat. Don't want it to be too, it doesn't have to be too detailed. Her hair can be kind of out there like that. 10 degrees in Kansas right now, right? It's 16 here, and I'm south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I know it's cold up in New York at headquarters, V-Friends headquarters. Santa says, DJ gives as many gifts as Santa. Who knew? So, I do like to give away things on the stream. So, I haven't done like a proper giveaway. Maybe we'll do that. I'm just getting back into the flow of stuff. I've been away. So, look at this little black thing there. I'll take stream. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. Okay. I'm also going to draw through this line because I want to show the full bodies on this. So I think like a boot. Start at the bottom of the boot. So most people will try to like connect the lines, but I'm going to draw just the boot. And then this other boot is back here, and I could probably be more of a shadow. This could be, like, since her arms are up, I'll just put some shadow there. Just want to get the pose of, like, looking like Burr, like, trying to hold on to the scarf and, like, kind of like, ah. And I might even exaggerate those eyes a little bit. Sometimes I like to go outside, like, see how it'll change, like, it'll go from that to, like, let's open up that eye a little bit. When I tap like that, it's changing up there in the corner. You can see it changes from eraser brush to pencil brush. So I'm able to go, you know, erase, 2-finger tap, bring it back to pencil, back to eraser. It's kind of like the same thing as like flipping for, you know, when you're working on traditional pencil drawings. So somebody asked if I do drawing like traditional drawing. Yes, I do. But we've got these tools here. This is so great to use. The digital tools are ultimately faster. Probably not as fast as when I'm on the streams, because I'm talking to everyone. New comic is live on IG. Let's take a look at that. Thanks, Corso. Good morning, Corso's in the chat. Corso's in the chat. Let's go to VFriends Instagram profile. Almost to, hey, if you go to @VFriendsComics and follow us there, we're almost up to 600 followers. Hey, we've got a goal, you know, we got a goal that we want to hit by the end of January. So you would help us if you follow VFriendsComics. All right, let's check out the new comic. This one was drawn by Chris Faison. Chris, we've got Chris and Allie. We've got a team of artists now on my comics team. So Allie, that's her style of drawing. Chris, looks like reflective rhinoceros is in the strip today. Let's click this. And whoop, come on, man. There we go. We'll flip through this one. All right, this young fella looks here like, I'm going to do my, like, my read-throughs are very, like, you know, I'm being reflective. Like, here's a young fella. Looks like he hasn't made it to school, in the school he wanted to get into. So he feels like his life is over. And reflective rhinoceros is just like hanging out on his bed there, just chilling with him. Probably about to say something wise, I'm guessing. And he did. Look, a rejection letter doesn't define your future. By the way, if I talk about, like, when I go into, like, on these streams, if I'm talking about rejection, this guy got rejected from college. But, like, I was thinking about rejection letters when I was starting to draw comics and I was trying to break into comics. You'd have to send your samples in. And man, I wish I would have kept all the rejection letters I got from, like, Marvel or DC or whatever back in the day. I probably do have a couple. But it always feels like this. So Chris knows too, Chris Faison. Shout out to Chris. That feeling of like, oh man, it's over. I'm never gonna be. A rejection letter doesn't define your future. What you do next does. So let's go for a walk. And now they're reflecting in the lake. This is a good panel here, Chris. I love this panel. The reflection of being a graduate in the lake there. Listen, it is not this weather, though. It is very cold outside. Anyways, sometimes not getting what you want leads to what you need. The question is, will you keep moving forward? And he's like, right, you're right. I'm in the driver's seat. Let's get it. Now he's like this confident cobra coming out of this guy. And I think there was a line, I don't know why I can't remember, we changed it, but I like Rhino saying there's some of that unstoppable spirit. Like, There's some of that unstoppable spirit. Hey, listen, I don't do voices, but you get it. Love the colors on this one. Love the character choices. We've only had reflective rhinoceros before in one other comic strip. By the way, if you go to vfriendscomics.com, let's go back. You can see the whole stack. Here he was. That's a little person, but we had him over here in this reflective rhino comic strip, and it did really well. And we never saw him again. So I was like, hey, why don't we bring back some of the ones that were, awesome. But yeah, let's go to vfriends.com too. But follow us again. I'm going to get back to drawing here in a second. Follow us at vfriendscomics on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And vfriends.com has everything that you would want to know about VFriends. There's even a quiz. We don't talk about this enough. You can click this and go, which VFriend are you? Which VFriend are you? You can start a quiz. Like, you've launched a new startup. What's your first move? Start pitching to new investors. Logically map out. And then you go through it. And then at the end, it'll tell you which character you are. All the characters have alphabetical across the top here. Let's go to M. If I'm in M and I see Moral Monkey here, you can click Moral Monkey. He should have a comics corner page on his profile page that shows all the comics that he's in. You can click that, go read the comic that he's in. There's also tags for each character, so if you're like, ooh, I like that character, you can click that. You can download a copy, print it out if you'd like it, pin it up. Show me where you're pinning it. If you're pinning up the comics, that's kind of cool. And then up here, we've got, of course, just Comic Corner up at the top. And you can read all of the archives. These are the daily comic strips. And we'll have comic books coming soon. But yeah, look at that. There's so many. That's what the numbers look like. Look at that. All those numbers equal a day, and probably each one of those numbers is hours of... each one of these strips takes about... look at that one. It took 4 hours and 30 minutes to make that strip. This one took 5 hours and 30. So I used to track the time a little bit. But all of those numbers are comics that you can read on VFriends and pick and choose your favorite characters. Anyways, let's get back to drawing. Talked enough. This is me. If you're watching on the other channels, you can see me. Cheers. Coffee. Alright, so she's cold. I'm going to move her up a little bit. I have to get her full body in the shot. And down here, we've got Decisive Duck. Supercop, what's up? Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks for checking in over on Instagram Live. Really appreciate you guys watching and hanging out a little bit. I hope you're... Any tips on drawing digitally? Chris Anthony over on TikTok. I got a lot of tips. I mean, I don't know what you want. My main tip, and just in general, is draw every day. I'm gonna say that. That seems so. I know. That seems like such a. Oh yeah, draw every day, but it's true. And be self-aware. So, what I mean by that is, if you're like, I can't draw feet, and you like hide it, I would say be self-aware when you're having that conversation in your own head. Hold on, I'm trying to find a duck here. There he is. I got him. I haven't drawn a duck in a little while, so if you're like, I can't draw feet or hands, then it's okay to like not show your art. Every piece of art doesn't have to be something that you're showing off or something that's going to make or break you, just sit there and draw hands for like half an hour. Look at a hand and go, and then keep them. I don't have a notebook handy. Why don't I have a notebook, guys? I don't know. I like when an artist pops in because, it's my jam. I think I got a little note. Whoa. Someone stole all of my sketchbooks, guys. I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they did not. I'm sure my desk is just a mess. Here. Just get a little notebook and, you can doodle in it. It's my barber. This was from May 2023. I was doing some journal comics. Actually, this is the one that was me at VCon. So for VFriends, I was at VCon doing some listening to some speakers and stuff like that at VCon, and wasn't working for VFriends, wasn't thinking of working for VFriends, and I just doodled up my thoughts in here and did a lot of reflecting. I kind of like doing this, it's kind of fun. But yeah, just doodle up, spend half an hour drawing hands or drawing something that you didn't know how to do before, and you'll get better at it. I forget what he's saying here, so I'm going to turn on the script. You decided to live here. So this decisive duck, he helps you either decide or he helps you remember your decisions. He's there to remind you that you made the decision. You did it. So in this case, she's like, I'm just going to turn on the text. So you can see a little bit about, it's not just about drawing, it's also about moving these bubbles around, positioning them. If you're new to the stream or the comics or any of these profiles, email me at comics@vfriends.com. I like to do a random giveaway on the next stream as well, but I like to hook up new people. So if you're new, tell me you're new. Maybe tell me how you found it or what you're, that you followed or whatever. And I like to learn about people that are chilling out too. So let me know what you're up to. Who are you? Who are you? I'm DJ. I draw things. It's pretty much true my entire life, for better or worse. For better, really. But I was definitely a very headstrong honey badger when it came to doing what I wanted to do, even when people told me it would never work or it was just a hobby. My passion for drawing and drawing comics was always big, and no matter what, I stuck with it. Maddox makes things over on TikTok. Welcome. Good morning. D Lawless said breaking things down to simple shapes helps. That's true. We've got what we call primitives. Not sure. You got triangle, square, of course, circle. But then you've got cone, cube, sphere. So a sphere was like, three-dimensional. So you have to add some shadow to that. Right, those are your primitive shapes. You also have cylinder. Forgot about that. Forgot about ye old cylinder, which will also be like a rectangle. And everything's made of all these things. That's kind of, what you got to start looking at something and learning to. That's a cartoonist, really. The definition of a cartoonist is someone that can look at a thing and without photo reference really break it down into its basic shapes there. So it's fun. That's a fun thing to do. I don't know what view I like better. I don't know if I like that full view with this here. Maybe get rid of this follow me thing. Maybe zoom in a little bit more just to do the down shot of the hands. I don't know. You let me know what view you guys like better. On Instagram, on TikTok, you only see my hands and stuff. But on the other channels, there's a little piece of me. You can see me too. Look at that. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. How about that? Yeah. Don't get me fired up. I'll be, too much caffeine in me. I'll be like really revving you up to quit your day job and go pursue your passions. Don't quit your day job, please. Be very mindful of the advice you take from a cartoonist too, guys. Don't get too crazy. What happened? Oh, okay. My bad. So I want his expression to kind of match what he's like. You decided to live here, like the same thing with like his hand. Kind of an expressive little wing there. You see, I draw the hand away from the body a little bit. I just like to give him a heart tongue. See that shape there? It's kind of like a heart. We'll get into inking this. It's 8:49 Eastern Time. Good morning, DK. Art over there on TikTok. That's good. Tweeter over on Instagram. Who do we got over on Tweeters over on YouTube as well? Zed Lotus, good morning. Appreciate you guys watching and chilling out. Hope you have a good day. That's my alert to. I'm gonna give him let's give him some winter weather gear as well, but you don't want to have him with his duck feet. Little scarf was good. He'll be kind of mimicking her as far as like the pose, like he's holding his scarf on. Snow boots would have been fun, but I did another thing with Crane in one of the comics that's coming up that he's got snow shoes on. They're going through some deep snow. Curious Crane. This character is Decisive Duck. I don't think I had him doing anything. No, he's just kind of. I think a scarf is good enough. It's kind of funny. He doesn't have like gloves. Just subtle. I'm gonna move his foot down a little bit. Kind of working it out. Penciling is kind of like the way I describe it is you're kind of molding the form of it. So the background will be like wintry tree. because I like to do like white for snow. We'll even have some snow coming down. I can do most of this in the coloring stage, so I'm not too worried about that. You decided to live here. Let's just focus on this. I could redraw all those panels, but I think I'm just gonna focus on this for this stream, just to kind of give, some satisfaction of all the stages. We did roughs, we did some pencils, now I'm gonna do some inks. What's up, J-Rob? How's it going? Can't wait for J-Rob to see the comic book. The Fearless Fairy in it. It's really good. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh boy. I wrote some really good strips yesterday. I felt really good about them. It's been a minute since I sat down and actually dived into some like daily strips, because I've been focused on the longer storytelling behind the scenes, which you'll see soon. But yeah. Hey, if you're new to the stream and you're checking it out, email me at comics@vfriends.com. I'd like to send you something totally free. How about that? For those that are paying attention. All right, we're gonna do balloons. Let's do these balloons real quick. What is it, Wednesday? It's another thing about, I I hate to talk about it, because I know some people, and I was trapped in a regular, day job and that before. So I know some people are really struggling through their weeks or working for the weekend, but when you're doing something that you're passionate about, and this is my job, so, it can be work. It could be a lot of like, oh, I don't, gotta force yourself and be disciplined to show up. But the funny thing is that if you're working on something that you're really passionate about, the time just kind of, I don't think about the weekends. Or if it's a weekend and I still feel like drawing, I'm going to definitely draw. I'm not going to be like, well, it's Saturday. I'm going to wait till Monday morning at 9 a.m. to... It doesn't work that way. And same thing with like a corporate type start would be like, 9 o'clock to 6 or something like that, which I think is technically our office hours. But my day usually consists of waking up around 5. It's been a struggle in December to do that, but wake up at 5, take a walk, feed the animals, shower, think, do a little ideation. I'm on the stream at 8 a.m. a few days a week. If I'm not doing a stream, like yesterday morning, instead of streaming, I was sitting down and doing some writing, some thinking. I've been rereading. This is a good book. If I got some coffee spilled on it, but don't judge me. It's Gary's 12 and a half book. It actually kind of looks like part of the design. That's why I left it. I could have wiped it off, but I was like, it looks like it's been beat up. It's been read. It's been read and combed through. Even before I worked at VFriends, I was into Gary's books. So I spent some time yesterday morning rereading, because 12 and a half, if you're into VFriends, is really the traits, most of the core traits, the 13 really. Positivity, optimism, or optimistic otter, gratitude, patience, all the things that we talk about are really the seeds of VFriends are in that book. So I like to go back and just kind of reread the little scenarios and passages in there, just to kind of reset my brain a little bit. And it really helped me yesterday because I was like, oh, this idea, this idea, this idea. And, you know, I'd say they're motivational type comics. Like some of our best comics were kind of motivational feeling, you know. You're on social media. Like, I also think about like where you are right now as you're reading this and consuming these comics. It used to be the comics you might be reading the newspaper to see what was going on in the world. And these days, you're going online to see like, oh my gosh, California's on fire. And like all this bad news that's out there. And if we can show up in your stream and be like a little bit of a escape from the heavy stuff, and maybe make a difference a little bit in your mindset for today, then that's the job. That's the job. And of course, drawing and coloring. Chris and I were working on, well, Chris is primarily doing some like office humor type comics, a little series of those. And man, we were laughing on this. We got on a call yesterday and we were talking about it. About like company names. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to say it, but we were laughing and going like, wow, that's funny. We've both worked in corporate environments before, so we totally get there's so much humor. Like you could do like a, you know, there used to be like Dilbert, the comic strip. It was all like, kind of like The Office. Very sarcastic humor. Not cynical. I mean, we don't want to be cynical, but there's a lot of cynical people out there. So you do have to. We have Cynical Cat. He's over here. No jerks. But what do you guys like? Do you guys like this? If you're not on TikTok, because TikTok can only see my hands. Do you guys like this view? Or do you like this view with like my hands and the iPad? So full view or split view? What do you like? What do you prefer? This one I like because, well, I don't know. I won't tell you what I like. Did I accidentally drop some alpha there on you, Jay? Yeah. Fearless Fairy will be in an upcoming comic book. I think I might have mentioned it on a stream at some point, so I'm not too worried about it. So this view or this view? You get the full iPad. Nick says split view. Nick Willen. Kill a Coyote says split view, so I'm going to go back to split view. Yeah. Fancy. I can also push my button on that says, hey, follow us. Or if I had to go get coffee, I could be like, be right back. I've never had to use this sign, though. That was made for like longer streams, and I've only been doing 90-minute streams. A couple times when I first started, I was doing long, very long streams. Split view, then full view. Yeah, on TikTok, you're only going to see the full view, you know, because I don't have, it's complicated. TikTok doesn't work with OBS with the Mac, so I can't do that. This holder that I have for the iPad, Gretchen, is called an Sketchboard Pro. Love it. I won't demonstrate it, but I can pull this right up, go to my couch. I often migrate down to my couch around 6 o'clock, something like that. 6 o'clock at night, you know. Or it's nice to just get away from the desk. Take the, it's very lightweight too, which is nice. Crunchy snow here. It'll all be blue. I think it's time to open up a. Let's open up a mini real quick. I'm just gonna I'm gonna quietly spin this around. That's what I'm gonna do. Random. This one. Season 3 and Season 3 versus Season 2. Season 3 versus Season 2. Type blue or yellow in the chat. Blue or yellow in the chat. I open up 5 of these. They're little pencil toppers. This is the Emerald Driven Dragon. We try to knock off the game that I play is take a little mini break, open up a mini, try to knock off the Driven Dragon with a better version of the character. It's Can't Stop Me Now, by the way. Oversight. What was I saying? Can't Stop Me Now. I'm hearing Queen in my head right now. All right, we got a yellow, we got a yellow, we got a blue, we got a yellow and a yellow and a yellow. I'm looking at all my chats here. Yellow, yellow, yellow. We need an all-day comics jam someday. Wow. Maybe. All right, I think it's going to be yellow, guys. Okay, this is a season 2. It's cracked. Let's open it up, see what's inside. Let's get in there. I think it's going to be a good one. No? I mean, yes, they're all good, but, you know. We've got the Be the Bigger Person Emerald. These glow in the dark. I pulled a Be the Bigger Person bubblegum. Smells like bubblegum earlier. But it doesn't beat the Driven Dragon. I'm feeling pretty driven right now, today. But it's interesting. You know, wait, I'll try to find my guy real quick. The Be the Bigger Person got pulled 3 times or 2 times, so I feel like he needs to sit up there. He needs to replace the adventurous astronaut. I feel like it's the universe telling me, hey man, being the bigger person today. That means someone comes at you, I don't know. Could mean a lot of different things. If you see something that upsets you, maybe take a deep breath and walk away from it. Why let things stress you out that are really not making any real difference in your life? So much stuff like that out there. Kind of get, be the bigger person for yourself first. And then, if you have a conflict, sometimes it's okay. Be accountable too and say like, hey, I screwed up. Or see where the person's coming from. It's a lot of these characters mixed together in that way. You know, being the bigger person sometimes can take a lot of empathy for the other person. Realizing like maybe they had a bad day today, or maybe their dad just died, or maybe their dog is sick or something, or they're not happy. You know, that's usually what's up. Negative people are usually hurt, by something. It sucks. I've been there. Definitely. You say things you don't regret when you're feeling, or you say things you regret when you're feeling like that. Some things you say you can't take back, even if you're sorry. Do I have a favorite brush pack for Procreate? I use my own, but if you search Smooth Train on Smooth Train Procreate brush, let's just do it. If I say smooth Train Procreate. Smooth Train Procreate? There's links to it here. I'd probably go with the Gumroad link. It's free. Like this. That's my inking brush that I made on the train. And I also have other digital brushes here that I made for my art. So they're on Gumroad. Same thing, but find them through the Smooth Train brush is the easiest way to find them if you want to use my brushes. Those are my favorite brushes, just because I've spent years drawing and I fine-tuned my own brushes. But what I will say is, like, there's any of the brushes that come with Procreate are fine. It's all about drawing with them. So if you're drawing with any of the brushes every day, you'll get used to the brush and the feeling. Because you might give me your favorite brush and I'll be like, ooh, I don't like this. You know? I think the brushes that I like are a little bit now, they don't autocorrect too much, but they're a little smoother. That's why I like the Smooth Train brush that I made. It's a little less autocorrecting than the really crazy autocorrecting brushes. Doesn't feel like you're actually drawing. So with mine, it feels like, you know, it's a little more forgiving if I F up. All Day Comics Jam, wow. That'd be bananas. I don't know. Thinking about it. My heart is like, let's do it. But my brain's like, oh, you got so much stuff to do. I used to do really long TikTok streams, 4 hours or something like that. I would just put on the stream as I worked, and I might, the next time I'm into some stuff, I just can't show off a lot of the stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes right now. But I think once things are unleashed, as long as I'm not giving spoilers, I think I might get back to doing those long streams. It kind of locks me to the board, keeps me from procrastinating or getting down another rabbit hole. There's a lot of rabbit holes that open up throughout the day, and either at work or just personal life stuff. You know, someone might send you a message that's like, oh no, like, oh man. I'm gonna try to just fill this with black. There you go. I think I'll do the same thing over here just to frame it nicely. Put a nice black tree there. Oh. Close this line. That. There you go. Then I'll just draw some branches on that tree. Like that. Right. The snow I'll do probably in coloring stage. We're going to do that in a second. And I'll re-go over that. I want to make sure I get my lines closed. There, that's looking pretty good. Give her a little eyelashes, I think. That really captures the look I was going for, actually. Like, brr, it's cold, like complaining that it's cold. Alright, so from here I would turn off the under drawing. And now we've just got just the inks. Hey, if you're watching and you're new to the stream, or you want to be involved in just tell me you're new. If you're new, I'm going to send you something. Email me at comics@vfriends.com. That goes directly to me. I'll check it after the stream, and I will send you something that you can, maybe your first VFriends collectible of some kind. First V-Friends product. A little fuzz on this. Okay. Focus on this panel. So sometimes I'll do the characters first. Let's do that. I'm gonna set this to reference layer. This black line, the black lines to reference layer, and I'm gonna go underneath. And I'll just go ahead and grab like a gray real quick, just because. And we'll just fill this in, say yes, continue filling. What I'm doing is I'm blocking her out on another layer. Oops. All of it, just to make sure I don't have any unopened lines. It's going to be all gray. Oops. I might use a different color, you know, if I weren't going so fast. Something satisfying for this 90-minute stream. We got about 15 minutes, so we're gonna go. Right. Also, and then I'll undo that. Undo that layer. Go up to this layer. Fill those white balloons. I'm going to isolate. I'm just walking through as I'm talking through what I'm doing here. I'm going to isolate this layer here, the gray background layer, and I'm going to pick my go-to like wash brush. I like to pick like a nice wintry blue. Where am I? Okay. And then I'm just going to get out. Zoom out. Pump the brush up. Just kind of paint, digitally paint in there. Maybe change the blue to like a little bit darker blue back here. Like there. A little lighter blue up the top. Maybe even a little bit lighter. Just want it to look cold, you know, but not white. And we'll go to white. And I'll just kind of paint in the snow here. So as you can see, we've gone from, in just this stream, 90 minutes, we've gone from some rough sketching to inking, and now we're painting the colors in. I like to do the digital painting type style for the background colors to have a little more texture to it. That's the gouache brush that I like to use. Shadow underneath them, maybe a little darker than that. I'm kind of in the blue spectrum there for blue-gray. It's kind of hard to see on the screen, but definitely more of a blue-gray. I like to zoom out to see like what's it looking like. That's looking pretty good. I like that. I'll also isolate the lines so that I can say, all right, those white line, those black lines that I've made there, I can turn them into white now by just drawing over them like that. Even back there, we'll just do same thing. If I want like this to be blue, I would just grab a blue and then do that. Maybe same thing here. It comes together pretty quick, Grinch. So it's only been, I started at 8, you know. Do like a darker blue back here. You can really noodle with it a lot. Noodling just increases the time, but you I like to have a little bit of that, just for one panel. If I was working on all 4 panels, it would probably take me 3 to 4 hours total time. But we'll just work on these characters here now. I'm going to isolate that line, or that layer, I mean. I always have a flesh tone color for the girl. That's probably her only. There's something that's open there. Interesting. That's weird. Now we play find the open line. I don't really see one. Close, close, close. Did I ink on the right layers? I did. Okay. Oh, reference layer is still on, right? Reference layer needs to be on. And then now, good. There we go. All that for that. I like red. I like red mittens. No, those are too red. Let's do like a brownish red. And then probably the cap. Switch to some white teeth. Oh. White teeth. No, I don't have that closed. So I will have to just come in here and just zap the eyeball color in there. Like so. Hope you guys are having a good day so far, wherever you're at in the world. Good morning. Snowstorm, it's cold outside, that's true. Grinch would like to learn to use the drawing pad. I'd say tutorials on YouTube. That's a great place to start. Let me give her some brown hair. I usually go with blonde hair. I don't know why, but Vic over on Instagram asked me what inspired me to get into drawing comics. I'm trying to answer this different ways sometimes, but I like to re-answer it all the time because it forces me to think about it. But when I was a kid, I used to draw and trace over comic strips in the newspaper, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing it for fun. And I'm gonna give her green eyes. And that kind of started it. So I learned how to draw Garfield when I was like 5 or something. So, the adults would be like, look, you can draw Garfield. And then some people probably encouraged and said, like, you could go work for Walt Disney. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what a job means. Like, no one knows when they're that little that they have to pay bills and have a mortgage and all that. But it wasn't until I was 8 years old that I had the epiphany, the moment where I realized, wait a minute, when I was reading a comic I liked, it's always this comic that's on the back of I always keep it nearby. Where is it? I was reading this comic, G.I. Joe number 21, and there's no words in it. It's just Snake Eyes sneaking into Cobra's headquarters. It's the most unusual G.I. Joe story ever. There's no words in it. And when I was reading this, I was like, wait a minute. Number one, that's cool. And number two, somebody drew this. And so I was like, wait a minute, that's someone's job. So by the time I was 8, I realized, oh, Dad goes to work. People have to go to work, and that's their job. They're a fireman, or they're whatever they are. And I was like, that's a job? I want that to be my job. She's looking like the Morton Salt girl a little bit. I'm kind of going with it. Blue pants. Let's do some blue pants. I kind of like the idea that she's got colors on that are going to match what the, like orange boots. That'll be kind of like the duck. I'm just playing around here. So yeah, that really set my, 8 years old realizing like, and then your adult people in my life were just not knowing how to do that. They would just say things like, you got to go work for Disney. That was the big one. That was the big thing that everybody said. Oh, you want to draw? You got to go work for Disney. And I don't know. You're 8 years old. You don't know anything. But all through school, that's pretty much all I did. Was draw. And I had some good teachers and bad teachers. Some teachers were like not supportive of it. And she's really mismatched, but I kind of like it. I'm going to give her a purple scarf. Why not? Let's do it. And I think, and it's wrong for me now, I just think like, but there was a teacher, the more people that told me I couldn't do it, I had this like drive to be like, I'll show you. And they were very right. It's very hard to do for a living. But I just couldn't do anything else. I wasn't good at anything else, I felt like, which wasn't true. As an adult now, I realize that's not true. I just didn't want to do anything else. That's all I really wanted to think about and do. And even when I had other jobs, I worked crappy jobs just like everybody. Sometimes, and that's all I would think about was, when can I get back to the drawing board? Am I going to have enough energy after working all night at UPS or something that I did for a little while? Am I going to have energy? Am I going to be sore? I'd go home and work on submissions and get rejected and all that stuff, But now it's so much, I won't say easier, but the tools that we have these days are so much easier to get attention and get your work out there. That's how I got this job. I've been around in comics for quite a while, drawing different things, and never really, I had some good years and bad years and stuff like that, but when I saw that VFriends were hiring, I used the tools to just go live, and it caught the team's attention, and that's the name of the game. And I want to preface that by saying that what worked for me won't work for you. So if you're wanting to, like, I see a lot of people that are like, oh, so that's all I got to do is go live and draw VFriends and I'm going to go work for VFriends. No, my path is not your path. But, VFriends just really aligned with who I was, which is why I decided to, like I showed you earlier in the stream, like I read Gary's books. I've known and followed Gary for such a long time that I just got it. And I was like, oh, I can do this. I want to do that. It wasn't just like, I know how to draw and here's this opportunity, I'm going to try for it. That's just like, that wasn't the move. So I would say, like, do your own path. Find the things that you're passionate about and try to find things that align with your passions, whether it's like maybe you're religious and you're into church, or you like rock music, like, and you're an artist, like picks those things, like you really like punk rock music and you like to draw, well then maybe go out, and what I would do is I'd probably do mock covers for my favorite bands, or something like that on a live stream. But just throwing it out there. Don't try to do exactly what other people have done. That's a losing formula. There's no cookie cutter. Because I did the same thing. I thought, oh, this is how Todd McFarlane got hired at Marvel. Did I have to move to New York? No. I did not have to move to New York. I go up to New York. I was going up like about once a month. I haven't been there since October, so I gotta get up there again. But yeah, go into office, you know, hang out, draw. We're living in this world where really also it's hard to say, like, it's hard to be creative in an open office space and sit there and draw. But I can do it. But I like, for the job that I have is more of, you know, ideation and kind of character development. It takes some quiet and reading and, you know, reflecting and diving into the characters deep and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to have that opportunity to be remote. It's pretty cool. But Gary knows. I'm like, you tell me when and where you need me, I'll get on a plane or a train and I'll be there. That's just how it is. But if I'm not, you know, why waste the, I don't know. We communicate a lot, so it's across the team, and access is definitely, you don't want to go radio silent when you're a remote employee. Don't do that, guys. If you're a remote employee, I would say over communicate if you can. Get yourself visible, you know. But I was just talking to my wife about this because, like, it's such a, see, this is what happens on these streams is I'm going to go over time a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you offer to the, I mean, lots of people want to work for Gary or work at VeeFriends, but it's like, what do you bring to the table? You know, that's kind of the thing, right? He looks good with a little green scarf, a little decisive duck here. I was talking to my wife about this, about remote work. And I used to run a team in person at a big international company, and I liked being in person because there was even though we were in our own little silos sometimes with our work, but I liked the camaraderie or the joking. We had like story time in the morning. We were just talking about crazy stuff that happened over the weekend, and we cared about each other on the team. I still think so, you know. There's some employees that just kind of come in and do the dance. I'm not talking about VeeFriends, I'm talking about my old job, just so you know. But I didn't mind being in the office then. I wouldn't force people to come back to an office. I would just be like, okay, if this position is needed in the office, then it's just needed in the office, right? Sense. But if it's like I can save, you know, if I was a business owner and I can save some money and have a remote employee, and just so that, hey, when you're remote, like, even we brought Chris Faison, shout out to Chris, probably listening, he's down in Alabama, and but we're on Slack all day. We have access to Slack, we can jump on Google Meets, we know we're accessible during business hours. I know that he, just like me, that if I had to get a hold of him, you know, I know how to get a hold of him. And he'd be like, hey, cool, well, I'm going to help you out in the middle of the night or something. I won't do that because I have boundaries, but, you know, but I would do, you know, like, I'm willing to be flexible with stuff. That's cool. That's 9:30. We got the first panel done. It's looking really good. I like it. You see where it's going. I might even just noodle a little bit here. I'll show you another little trick I do. If I take this selection tool, and if I wanted to just kind of like draw some random shapes like this, that's one. The this too. Kind of really get it in there. Like that. And then I'm going to go back to that background layer. I just like to do this because it looks cool. And I'm going to hit brightness, saturation, and I'm going to... Am I on the right layer? Come on, man. Oh. There we go. So you can see what's happening is it'll turn it all the way white or down or dark. So I just like to like bump it up a little bit for like a little subtle wintry cold air. All right. Hey, if you're new, email me comics@vfriends.com. I'd like to give you something, and then I'll be back here tomorrow, not 8 a.m. on same channels, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X. Make sure you follow us on VFriends, at VFriends Comics, on those channels. Comment, say hello. What do we got to do here? I open one, two. I'm going to open up this one real quick. I'm just going to grab 2 random minis. Haven't been really good pulls lately. They're all bubblegum. This is a bubblegum accountable anteater. I would say that does beat the dragon. I open up 5 of these per stream. And I'm going to go ahead and just... I have this other blue one that's been hanging out here. I'm going to open him up as well. This is the season 3 minis. If you want to know anything about VFriends that I can't answer here on the chat, please go to vfriends.com or follow us on social or send us a message. Oh yeah, You're Gonna Die Fly. That's one of my favorite characters. You're Gonna Die Fly. Bubblegum. There we go. He's gonna end the pencil for the day. Be on the pencil the rest of my day. And I'm going to take my garbage and put it in the recycling bin. There we go. All right. Everybody, if you have any questions about VFriends, hit me up. Otherwise, email comics@vfriends.com, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. See you soon, guys. Appreciate you. Bye.